Okay, the next thing is probably gonna be the longest because it's gonna be the ELA curriculum, which obviously that's phonics, reading, and writing. So that's 3 different subjects all covered here. Everything you'll need for your ELA lessons for reading and writing. So for writing, don't worry about, you'll see on once I show you where to get everything on HMH here. So this is our ELA curriculum. Don't worry about doing like the writing workshop and all that stuff. Just stick to those short grammar lessons while I'm gone. So I'll show you where to find all those in just a minute. So you would need HMH and UFly. So this is the blending board, which you'll see come up in the UFly manual when it says to like type in these words. Up to you. Hopefully I'll have a chance to go over all this with you. What I like to do is just go find the words that I'm gonna be typing on the blending board, and I just add them into a slide on the UFly slide so that I don't have to sit there and type them all, but you can do it however works best for you. Mrs. Rounds is a really good resource to go to because I know she uses the UFly curriculum for phonics. So you could always ask her, hey, how do you do this? What's the best way, or what does this mean if you're confused about anything in the manual? So this is the corresponding manual for UFly. So I keep all like my current teacher manuals for whatever unit we're doing over here. So like the math will be here with the math workbook and teacher's manual, the reading teacher's manual, and then that's the teacher's copy of the book. So the students have a soft paperback one inside their desk. You'll have these hardbacks. So right now they're on book 3. I believe you'll make it to book 4 while I'm gone. So you'll want to get those. Those are usually in the curriculum closet, which is next to the library. If you're ever short in there, check the room that is next to Mrs. Sawyer's room inside those cabinets, and you'll find extra reading books inside of there. So everything I'm going to show you that's online is also like printed in these physical books. So you just find anything you want to print, like worksheets, tests, stuff like that, that I'll have in the lesson plans, you'll print from online. But any dialogue things you need to say or kind of giving you directions on how you're going to teach it is going to be in these manuals here. And then same thing, even with the stories while you're reading, you'll notice on the sides there are questions and things for you to ask as you go through the stories. Also, I keep all my ELA copies on this side, so if that's how you would like to do it. So Monday's always going to be the weekly word list. And then this is the optional take-home practice. You don't even need to do this while I'm gone. But I printed a copy of each of these and put it in a binder with the homework if you would like to use it. So I made a copy for each of the 9 weeks that I'll be gone for you to use. I recommend doing like 26 to 28 copies of this because they tend to lose these, and this is their weekly ELA homework. So they get it on Monday. They need to turn it to you by Friday. If they don't bring it in on Friday, they don't get the money for it for market. So that's $2 for this worksheet. If you use this, it's an extra $1, but they don't have to have this. So this is totally optional to them to do. So they just need to get a parent signature saying, yes, I read these words at home with mom and dad. And then if they turn that in, I showed you kind of where we mark the money on the money sheet. So that's how I keep track of how much money. And I usually just pay them on market day instead of giving them a few bucks every week. I wait till I know the total. That way I can use some of the big bills. But I always put Mondays, the word list, and the take-home practice up here in the top, and then whatever corresponding worksheet. So if there's like a worksheet or something you're doing on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So for example, when you're here on Thursday, your reading test, so I already made this copy for you. So I usually make 25 copies of anything that's classwork, 24 for them and 1 for you to display underneath the camera here. So everything they're doing in class, I always do under the camera alongside them so that they can see it. And then Fridays are spelling tests. So I'll have a bunch of copies in here, but you might obviously run out while I'm gone. So just make a copy of it. I'm gonna have them not do the bonus words while I'm gone. That's what these 3 are for. So there's 8 slots, but they only have 6 weekly spelling words. So they'll do the 6 words on Friday. Don't worry about the bottom and bonus words. Tell them we'll do bonus words again when I come back. So I always like to keep a copy of the word list that you get on Monday. Like I said, I make extras of these, and I keep one in the Friday one just so I have it ready. That way when I give them the spelling test on Fridays, I just read the word. So you'll just say the word, use it in a sentence. Just make sure you take, obviously, the spelling words off of the wall Thursday after school, so that Friday the words are not there, so that they're not able to, you know, cheat and look at the words on the word wall. And then like I was saying, this is for UFly, so this is where you get the spelling words from, and this is where you're going to do your phonics curriculum. So it's usually split up. Each sound has 1 or 2 days on it, so this tells you exactly what you're doing. That corresponds with the slides that you've seen me do in class, so I'll show you where to get those slides. But This tells you exactly what to do for each slide. So it's always split, like I said, day 1 and day 2. So these 2 pages are 2 days. And then like you'll do, sometimes on some of the ones it might be more than 2 days, but generally it's 1 day, day 2, 1 day, day 2, Friday is spelling test. The sticky note in here just marks where all the spelling words are at the back. So you'll find whatever lesson it's on. And so like you're doing ES, so 63 and 60. Sometimes I'll combine if they're short like this. So like 2 days are doing lesson 63 with ES, 2 days you're doing ED with that. So you'll find the spelling words there. But again, it's if you want to just keep the copy from the top, you can use that for your spelling test. You can find all the word cards that I pre-made here and they're labeled. So the little cards that are handwritten are the spelling words that go up on the ELA board. The bigger white cards are the high frequency words that you should be practicing reading with them every day. So I'll kind of show you that on the ELA board too. So spelling words I always put on the middle. You want to make sure that you're finding the sound cards that correspond with that special sound for the week. So these are the sound cards. So for example, this week we're doing soft G and soft C. So I find the ones that have the CE, GE pattern and put them on the wall. I also usually keep the old card from the week before just so they don't forget that sound while we're moving on to our next one. For ES and ED, there are no cards for that, so I hand wrote those. You'll see I'm going to make the board for you for that first week, but you would just need to change it out at the end of each week. The bottom are the unit power words, which I'll show you where that is. You are starting, and sorry, I'm so out of breath. You're starting a new unit when you come back that first day. You're starting module 7. So you'll have 3 weeks of every unit, week 1, week 2, week 3. At the end of week 3, you'll wrap up the unit, just discuss the Get Curious video and the essential question. Again, I'll show you where all this is for your first day. And then you'll swap out, that's where those 3 power words come from. All the power words and word cards I'll show you where to find over by my desk. And then over here are the high frequency words. Just make sure you're practicing reading with these with the class every single day. So you've seen me do a few different ways of reading them. Don't worry about doing anything fancy. On the very first day on Monday, you introduce the word. So they're brand new. The kids don't know these words at all. You'll just show them the word. I have them spell the word, and then I kind of go through everything on the back. So I'll teach them about the word. I'll use it in a sentence. Then I'll have one of them use it in a sentence. And then each day you're just showing them, have them read the word. If you want to do a sentence every day, if you don't, that's fine. Just as long as they're reading these words every day. That's how I usually start phonics. And then I go right into the UFly slide. So I'll show you where these things are for the ELA board, and then I'll show you where the UFly slides are, so you can do that for phonics. And that's pretty much everything you need to know for that. So everything you need is in this kit here as far as power words. Those are the ones, those are vocabulary words. And then, excuse me, I have stuff from the field trip right now. Here's where you'll find the word cards. So these are like the regular letters. That's why they're kind of 2 piles. So just A, B, C, D, whatever, through Z. And then these are some special sounds, like long vowels or digraphs and blends. So like any card you need, you just find here. And you'll see like on the success on the lesson plan what their special sound is. So like I said, there's a couple that we don't have, like ES and ED your first week. There's no cards. So I just handwrite on a piece of paper, but generally you'll find the cards there. And then I'll show you where to find these slides here for phonics. So once you on ClassLink, you're gonna go to UFly. Sorry, locked me out. All right, so you just need the teacher resources, so up to you. The blending board, you'll see it'll come up and say like blending drill. Basically all you're doing is typing these letters, and the kids are saying the sounds and then reading the words. And then this is where you'll find any of the lesson slides or like word lists or anything like that. So you're starting with lesson 63, so you just scroll down here. And all these lessons are on plan book. So I'll show you that in a second so you can see how it corresponds. Up to you. I prefer to use PowerPoint, but you can use Google Slides. It's the same thing. So all you do is open that. It'll download. So it'll show up here in this arrow. Once it's loaded, you'll open it up. And then, like I said, you've kind of seen me go through these, but Mrs. Rounds is a good person to go to if you have a question about how you're supposed to do something or what exactly the directions in the teacher manual mean. So it's opening right now. You'll just go through each slide. So it's all pretty self-explanatory for phonics. If you like, since the kids might bring it up, I tend to, once I tell them what our special sound is, I usually find like a song or a video on YouTube. I just will type in like, you know, ES endings first grade and play like a little song where they're reading along and saying words with that ending. Don't feel like you have to do that. But if they bring like bring it up and say like, where's the video? They really like Storybot. So if you can ever find a Storybot song that has the special spelling pattern that we're practicing, that's good to use. But that's all you really need on here. You don't need to worry about the decodable passage. The home practice is actually that optional homework I was showing you before. So that's where you could print those, but I already pre-printed those if you feel like using them. If you don't, those are really not necessary. And then, let's see. That's pretty much it for phonics. At the end of the lesson, I'll like go through and like I said, they'll take out whiteboards and we'll practice spelling like 3 to 5 words with that special sound. So I usually grab from the word list over here and I'll just give them a few words to do here. And then you'll see on some of these, because if the kids ever ask like, what about our sentence? Sometimes I'll mix in that week, instead of doing just sounds, I'll just give them a sentence. So usually I'll just use one of the ones, either one of the ones we already read, or so this one says read. You'll see these come up in the slides on day 2. They'll read these out loud. And then I would use maybe one of these ones to spell on either a Tuesday or a Thursday. So that's pretty much it for phonics and the ELA wall. So again, it's mainly just read the high frequency words, tell them what your sound is, and then if you can do a video, if not, don't, and then go into the slides. So I'll do reading and writing next.